Welcome to a very, very special interview with, in correlation to the Spring Showcase, I'm Michael Washington. I'm here with Damien Williams, linebacker and I'm an American trying to do Spanish accent. I'm terrible at it.
Uh-huh.
The Jalisco Reyes,
I think it's
close?
Jalisco. A lot of people say it differently.
Jalisco.
I do say
Okay.
Jalisco, so we're gonna go
All
with
right.
that.
That's fair. That's fair. No, I'm doing Spring Showcase, and we're covering the LFA down there in Mexico, and I'm starting to learn some of the pronunciations and stuff. I don't speak Spanish, so I'm like I'm learning on the fly a lot with this.
For
So
sure.
uh, uh, it's nice to have that connection with somebody down there for sure. So, um, well, first and foremost, the first question I always like to ask Damien is, how did this marriage to Mexico and you playing down there, how did this come to fruition? Was it something that you had looked at? Because you graduated in 2002, right? Or you got done playing college in 2002?
Uh, no, actually, I got done playing in 2022. Actually,
Well, that's what I
so
meant. 2022. Wow. Yes.
it's all good.
2022 is what I meant.
Yes,
2022.
sir. Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
sir.
what I meant.
So I got done
Yeah.
playing in 2022, and I actually just took a year off, because at Merrimack I actually didn't play as much, and so
Mm.
for me it was like NFL or nothing. So I kind of just took a step back from football a little bit. Decided to finish my master's degree at Merrimack College and work in my internship there as well. So after all that, I ended up, I don't know how, but I got some motivation from some teammates at Merrimack. Just seeing them get picked up by NFL teams.
Mm.
Three of them, I think two of them got picked up by the Chiefs, and then one of them got picked up by the Steelers. So, for me, and just looking back in my career, I was just like, I gotta get back into it. Can't give up right now, and I just decided to put my all into it. And then I ended up doing the XFL combine. Had good
Yep.
numbers and all that, but the main thing was for me just to get my film out there. See what opportunities were, and I looked into Europe, indoor football stuff like that, but Mexico, it struck me, just because the fan base out here, just the warm weather, everything out here has just been great. So just looking into it, I was signed to the CD Mexico or Mexico City Reds, which is like CD Mex Reds. They
Yeah.
were
Okay.
out here for a little bit,
Yep.
so I ended up being signed to them, and then their whole team actually disbanded because of some issues with the owner. So I ended
Yeah.
up getting drafted to the Bulls.
I did see that the Reds they were there last year, not this year, and whatnot. So, but I'm glad that you landed on your feet somewhere for sure, though.
Yeah, I was thankful. I was beyond thankful for this opportunity. I wasn't even talking with this team, to be honest with you, but God worked in mysterious ways. I was able to land here and been a great experience ever since.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but it's crazy how some of that works out because when something like that happens and your future's uncertain, you just never know what could happen, right? Like
Yeah,
you don't necessarily are guaranteed that you're gonna land on your feet somewhere, right? So that
yeah,
that's awesome. It worked out for you though.
yes, sir.
So let me ask, what how has the transition been for you personally, as far as an American going to, Mexico, going to a different country to play football? How has that been an adjustment for you? Like whether it's been culture or communication, things like that. Like how has that been for you? How have you seen? How's the process been for you?
Man, it's been a big culture shock for me, to be honest with you. It's just being a true professional out here. You just gotta be able to watch film on your own. Knowing when you got to get to practice, and just being in tune with the team. Even though most of them speak English, like
Mm.
majority of the coaches definitely speak English. But as far as like players, it's kind of they teach you some things. Just basic conversation. You pick up on some things, and you're able to have actual like genuine conversations with them, which has been great for me. But culturally, it's just been is like tacos out here, amazing. I ain't gonna lie, I've been eating those all day. And just grocery shopping been scarce, but definitely making good use of it. But yeah, everything out here have just been amazing. I've been loving it, been embracing it. Been sightseeing a little bit. So just being out in Jalisco City and then traveling out the different parts of Mexico has been great for me.
Oh, that's awesome. I like hearing that because it's a big world out there. You just never know what you're going to run with. You said you went.
Exactly.
You said you went to Merrimack, right? And you said you get your master. What'd you get your master's in, by the way?
I got in communication, so I did it in digital marketing and then multimedia.
Oh, communication, the one thing that led us to having to record this and not going live.
Right.
Okay.
All right, I can set it up for us.
Irony 101 right there, isn't it? Is that a class? Is that a class they put you through?
Easy.
Oh man. So obviously, first night, Friday night, game didn't go as planned for you guys. Gallos Negros didn't have exactly a good year last year. They went 1-9. Team looked very different when I was watching them this year. How do you guys plan on, or what do you guys feel like you need to do to rebound coming off that loss? Obviously, you don't really ever want to start the year with a loss, but it's a long enough season you guys can rebound. What are some of the adjustments or some of the rebounding that you think you're going to need to do to move forward to push this Reyes team back to where they were last year?
Yeah, honestly, just playing an all-around game. Sometimes, as you've seen, we were down early, 14-0, out of nowhere. And for us, it's just coming together, bouncing back, and, just believing that we do have the talent on this team to actually compete,
Mm-hmm.
That, and then just also playing 4 quarters of football. We can't have 3 great quarters and then the last quarter we fail and flunk and then lose the game, And then, like you said, we seen it, it was 17-14, we're up. And then, their team go ahead, score 2 touchdowns and, put the icing on the cake. So for us, just, keeping the gas on the pedal, just staying focused and, just believing in each other at the end of the day, believing in what coach tells us and believing in each other, knowing what each other has and, just being able to make plays.
Yeah, you guys definitely had a good 3 quarters there. There was the first quarter started off a little shaky for you guys, but early in the year, you fully expect not to be full fledged together. Do you? Not that I expect you to say no, we don't, but do you believe that this is a team that's capable of making a deep run into the playoffs, if not a championship run for sure?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe in all our guys, man. Just looking just based off defense, the front 7, we're solid, run game, we're always locked in. We know whatever call we get, we're gonna run with it and then we're gonna make the best of every play. In the back end, I feel like we just got everything we need. We got all the pieces to the puzzle back there. And then the offense, got a bunch of playmakers. I mean, all the wide receivers got the ball last game. We got a great running back, a great American quarterback that just came in, and then also the guy Raul Rivera, who was the starting quarterback this week. He stepped in and made a bunch of plays. So it's just about us, taking it one game at a time, most and foremost. Just want to know, playing the game within the game, and then just being able to, just come together. Like I said, at the end of the day, that's all we're here for is a championship and to, try to make this deep run. So that's why I'm
Yeah,
on.
I thought Raul actually played a really good game.
Yeah.
I know that they had signed Matthew Vitelli. He
Yes,
played
sir.
he played in the ELF last year with the team that I cheer for in the ELF with the Warclaw Panthers. So uh,
Yes, sir.
I had very good firsthand knowledge of him. I expected him to start. I was surprised he didn't, but he came in and had some made some plays. Obviously, you could tell that he was still getting acclimated to the system. Um, but I think you guys are in good hands for sure with your team there, and they had a good run last year. I think your team went 7-3, I believe, off the top of my head, maybe 8-2, somewhere around those lines. So I'm very excited to see what you guys do moving forward for sure. Not that
Yes,
you
sir.
guys played bad. Like I said, it was the most competitive game of the weekend. So I mean, you got some stuff to hang your hat on for sure with that, by all means. So I'm excited to see what you guys
also,
do.
Yeah, I was gonna say also, and like it's the first week, so
Right.
we're not gonna hang our head and be like, that's the end of our season. I feel like the first week is always a test because you never have a full picture of what a team could bring until you actually see it on film. So for us, we feel like we're very confident when we watch actual film of like the team. Beforehand, we'll be able to, game plan together something to give us one.
Let me ask you this next question. I'm going to go back to your college days with Merrimack. How was that experience for you with the team, the smaller school? So it must be, as far as like you said, you went to the XFL Combine, so it must have been nice to kind of get a little bit of exposure there coming from a smaller school. And then you said, a couple of your teammates or a couple of guys I went to school with got picked up. Have you felt that the smaller schools like this, do you feel that the LFA and like other leagues similar to the LFA are doing you guys justice in getting your guys out there as far as film is concerned and to progress your careers?
Yeah, for sure. I seen honestly, I seen somebody this year. I think he played last year for what the team name? The Chaldeos. Yeah, Jawan Mingo. He in the XFL right now. Our kicker last year, he got picked up through the Defenders this year. So I feel like this league is definitely giving us the film and the exposure for us to, move on and, progress our careers, whether it's in indoor football or the UFL or CFL, And I feel like everybody in this league is hungry, and at the end of the day, everybody wants to hit that NFL. So for me, it just personally for me is just getting this film for this year, next year, however many years I need it, so I can be able to put myself on the market as well.
So on Spring Showcase, though, we had our first episode this past Wednesday. We have our second this week. I talked to Daniel, who's my co-host, a little bit about when I watched last year, there was definitely some technique differences, and it was more on the offensive and defensive line. It was kind of a little bit of a glaring difference. How have you felt that I don't want to say the advancement in the technique has been, but kind of similar to that? Like, have you noticed any like technique coaching differences compared from the American game to the college game, or is it very similar at this level for you?
Honestly, it's kind of similar, to be honest. Some teams just game plan differently, to be honest with you. It's whether like for me this week, I felt like the O line, they weren't really working up to linebackers. I feel like that's one big difference that I've seen because America, I feel like they work up to like the middle linebacker and the outside linebacker a lot. But this game is just kind of like freelance and trying to hit the hole and go. So for me, it did feel like it definitely take a lot to read it because they are moving at the same pace. But yeah, I mean, I don't see a big difference. It's just that one little technique thing that kind of caught my eye.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because he plays offensive line or played offensive line, and he has connections with the indoor game, outdoor game, and down there in the LFA. And he was saying that down in Mexico that they don't really teach certain techniques for certain things. So I just didn't know if it was like a difference thing for the linebacker position as well. And I wasn't sure what the adjustments were coming from the college side of things to the LFA, or if there was an adjustment at all. So I wanted to ask that question. That's all.
Yeah, for sure.
Damien, what is your ultimate goal, your own personal goal that you want to achieve this year as far as when it comes to your game? Like, you want to be in the defensive player of the year candidate? Like, what is a personal goal for you that you want? I'm always curious about this.
Always, well, for me, it's just making like the right play, to be honest. At the end of the year, for sure, I definitely want to, have the All-Pro accolades, stuff like that. But honestly, it is just winning a championship with this team. I feel like a lot of guys that have been here, that played last year, felt like they were so close to it. And for me, being a young guy, actually the youngest guy on the team, is kind of kind of a goal for me and kind of like a desire for me to, help these guys, push their limits and, being able to win the championship. I feel like we're very talented and just seeing all these people on my team with great stories and, always like the underdog in their story, and it'll be satisfying for me to, win the championship. That's the main thing first and foremost. And then secondly, hopefully being that top 3 of making tackles, to be honest. Just progressively every week, just piling on tackles and tackles and tackles, whether it's in the backfield, 10 yards down the field, you want to be able to run it down, show 100% effort, and, hopefully get noticed, to be honest. That's all it is.
I love that. I asked you an individual achievement question, and you still are team first guy. I love it. I actually love that. That's awesome. It's an incredible answer because it just shows that you're dedicated to them and your team down there overall and what you want to accomplish as a team. I think that's fantastic, man. What do you run in the 40? What's your 40 time?
Well, last time I ran a 4.81, to be honest. Yeah, I don't really get a lot of training. Yeah, in the 40. I was in the combine, but I really didn't get a lot of professional training with it. So I was just running by myself, seeing where I can pick up, and then so it wasn't that fast. But I'm hopefully when I get some real, I can pick up a little bit.
I love it. You say 4.840, and you're like, that's not that fast. I run a 40 in 4.8 years, so I'm dying between like 5-yard takes. Give me some water. I played offensive line. We're not fast. We are not fast at all. Well, I mean, I can't say that anymore. Some of these old linemen are pretty freaking fast.
I was say some of them been running 5 flat. This past week, I was like, oh, they picking it up.
Never me. My speed was the reason I didn't play tight end. Let's put it that way. Like they were like, "Oh, you got cement blocks." You whatever. What are you gonna do, right? Some of us have it, some of us don't. So.
Yes, sir. Sometimes.
Now you said that you want to do the film. Obviously, I always ask this question for people playing overseas when the Americans playing overseas with imports. I'm sure the ultimate goal is to try to get back into the States to play here in the States. Correct? Are you? If for some reason that opportunity is never presented, are you satisfied and happy with where you're at right now that you could find yourself building a career and maybe building your brand there through the LFA?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, just playing professional football was the goal for me, being back after a year and, just having this opportunity. Not a lot of people get this opportunity. So for me, playing professional football was always the goal at the end of the day, whether it was here, Europe, indoor, outdoor, wherever it is. Whatever happens at the end of the day, I'm satisfied, because I'm able to chase my dreams, and, just being out here just gave me a different perspective of life, just being, to yourself, having time to actually watch film, being a true professional, actually knowing how it takes to, take care of yourself. So for me, if I was to stay out here, then I would be perfectly fine with that because I love the game. I love the competitiveness out here. I love the teammates. Everybody been great. So, if the opportunity presents itself, then that's fine. It can stay.
I asked that question and then I got thinking, I'm like, this guy's probably only been there for, not very long at all. Like,
3 weeks, actually.
3 weeks, and I'm already asking, like you said. Yeah. Well, I mean, at least that's a good answer in 3 weeks, though. I mean, that goes to show. Yeah.
Look, it's been the first time for me outside the country ever. So for me, it's like eye opening, and I've been like I never even seen myself in Mexico. So I was like, wow, just having this been good.
I love that, man. That's awesome that you got to go outside to pursue your dream, and you got to experience, the culture, and you're loving it already. 3 weeks in, I mean, that's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Not all of us get to do that, but I've never visited Mexico. I've been to Canada. Well, I mean, to be fair, I live in Maine, so like I'm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so you're on the border.
So I'm basically more north than Canada, some parts of Canada, anyways. So
exactly.
like that that doesn't qualify as me being to a different country, in my opinion.
I feel that.
So the LFA linebacker Damien Williams here, obviously with the Reyes. Uh, you know, Damien, I feel that these leagues are always getting, what's the word? I don't want to say criticized a lot for certain things, and they're kind of, oh, he just plays in the LFA, or oh, he just. But I feel the energy down in Mexico, and I feel it with like the CFL and the ELF as well. Like when I watch the games, uh, the fans down there they have a passion for this,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes through. Is it even more intense being down there and having those fans like right near you and all that stuff? Because I think it's pretty intense just from what I see on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, this past weekend was the actual first crowd for me that was, I ain't expected to be much, but at like halfway through the game, it just started to fill out for me. I was like, I would never expect it. And then behind you, you had people peeking through the gate, to try and get a glimpse of the game, because it's like in the center of town. So I was like, the fan base out here is really legit. Just watching some of the other games this week too, I see the Caldeos game, actually, they throwing smoke in the air in their crowd. I'm like, it's legit. Like, people actually love watching LFA football. So, I feel like this league is definitely has a fan base that's passionate, is definitely here, and they wanna show it. So I've been loving it.
Yeah, one of the things that goes unstated is just how much these fans actually truly love American football, and it's growing. It's
Mm-hmm.
growing on a scale that I don't think really when my playing days, because I'm much older than you. Like I can date myself, but I'm much older than you. And my back in my playing days, like I would have never have suspected the American football to grow as much internationally. Like NFL Europe was around and stuff like that, but it was never really. But the
Yeah.
NFL goes overseas, they go down to Mexico, they sell out, and now you're starting to see these professional leagues kind of
Take
really,
over.
yeah, they're doing such a great job, and it's awesome for the players. It's awesome for players
Yeah.
such as yourself.
Yeah, and I was gonna say it's great because like it's right after the NFL season, so some people just be like, "Oh, okay, football over with, that's it." But no, you got indoor football in April, you got or in May, one of
March,
those times,
March,
and then March, yeah,
yeah,
March. I
March. The
mean,
IFL starts very soon. Yeah,
wow, see that goes to show. I mean, like everything just lines up, and it gives people like me, small school guys, and people that may be NFL bounce backs or stuff like that have those type of opportunities. So it's definitely a sight to see. Hopefully it continues to grow and we're able to collaborate with bigger leagues and just bring everybody up. I feel like that's a goal that they should have at the end of the day.
yeah, no doubt. Michael Washington here with Damien Williams here on the Shady Sports Network for an interview. LFA linebacker for Jalisco Reyes.
Yes,
Damien, I appreciate you so much, man, for coming on and having
no
this quick
doubt.
interview with me. And I'm sorry about the miscommunication at the beginning of the
Yeah,
evening and whatnot. But what I like to do for my guests, especially because of how important it is to get to know you as a person, but B, also get to know your journey a little bit. I'm going to give you the floor, however long you want, just to kind of make any shout outs, mention anything that you want to talk about. The floor will be yours for a couple minutes or however long it takes you to talk. But by all means, man, go ahead, and then if there's anybody you want to give a special shout out to, by all means, go ahead, man.
yeah, for sure. I appreciate you. I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's been in my corner, especially my mom, my dad, brothers, sisters, um, my girlfriend, of course. Just everybody that's close family, close friends from back home. Everybody that's just been supporting me. I appreciate y'all. You know, um, I just want to keep going. Keep making y'all proud, doing the best I can, and I guess a message at the end of the day is never give up your own dreams, man. Because for me, it took a lot to get back. Taking real work and just taking that whole year off, even though I did have the COVID, like I didn't play COVID year and that felt long year, but a forced year off like this, it was It was something that I never thought would happen. So for me, just chase your dreams and make it happen. So that's it.
All right, Damien Williams. You can catch him on YouTube, the LFA official page over there. Games are on Fridays and Saturday evenings, usually
Yes,
Central Time. If you're on the East Coast, don't make the same mistake I made and completely give the wrong times to people.
hold on. Oh, one more
Yeah.
thing. I about to say, look, we play this Sunday at 12 p.m., 1 p.m. in America. So catch it. We played the Raptors this week, so stay tuned. Catch it.
They had a hot start against the Dinos last week too.
Yes, sir.
Against the Dinos.
Yes, sir.
That should be a good game to catch. So apparently they play on Sundays too. See, I can't make the same mistakes over and over again. They play on Sundays as well. So,
Yes,
catch Damien over there on Sunday. As well for the LFA and on YouTube as well. And for Damien, thank you again so much for coming on. And the Shady Sports Network, thank you again for allowing this interview to take place. And I'm Michael Washington. And until next time, catch you later.